Hi guys, this is Prateek and you're watching T-Shoot Labs. Today we will be seeing how to deploy virtual ASAs and CSR1000Vs on an ESXi server. Probably this would be the entire mode of deployment throughout the video series, and I would be showing multiple issues that one may encounter while setting up VPNs and how to resolve those issues. So before I start with the VPN part, I wanted to go through the ESXi setup so that if any one of you wanted to perform certain recreates or maybe check something in your lab before you deploy it on the enterprise network, it would be best you test everything and then you move forward. I would try my level best to make it pretty simple for everyone. And if still you guys have any questions, please put them in the comments below. So let's start with the deployment. So basically, first of all, every one of you need an ESXi server. You can probably deploy it on a server itself, or you can install VMware on your host machine if you have quite good specs of your workstation or probably your home laptops or desktops. ESXi server is basically free. You can download it from VMware website, and they offer a 60 days trial period. If that is over, you can obtain a basic license from ESXi server free of from the VMware free of cost, and you can apply that on the ESXi server. However, that limits a certain type of functionality on the server, which is not always required. But just for an example, if you want to give or you want to take console access of the virtual devices, you would be needing the upper end license with all the functionalities in place. So to begin with, I already have an ESXi server installed on a server here at my place. So I would be showing you how exactly we can deploy the ASAv on the ESXi server. So you would be needing an ASAv image, which you can download from google.com, or probably you can directly go to cisco.com and you can search for ASAv. You would be needing the entitlement for this. If you do not have entitlement, I would suggest you to get in touch with the entitlement team at Cisco, and probably they would be able to help you out with the ASAv images. Apart from this, if you are trying to deploy a CSR1000v, you can do this as well. You need an image for CSR1000v as well. We would be concentrating on ASAv today, and the version that we would be going to deploy is 941205, and there is another one 952208. So I would be showing you both of them how to deploy these two types of images. I downloaded these from cisco.com, and uh, let's just go ahead and do this. So first of all, you would be getting the images in a zip format. You need to unzip both the files. You can do it one by one if you want. Let's just do it one by one. Let's do the other one as well. All right. Now, when you open this file, you will see two types of files: ASAv-ESXi, virtualization format package, and ASAv-VI, which is open virtualization format package once again. You can choose any one of these. There is a very slight difference. I will be showing you what exactly is the difference between the two types of files. On newer versions, you do not get these two types of files. There is just one which you can use, which is ESXi. And basically, it's an OVF format file which you need in order to deploy the ASAv on the ESXi server. So to proceed with, here's a server that I had deployed earlier a few days back. As you can see, 49 days remaining for the evaluation period. So what we can do is, in order to deploy the file, we need to click on File. Once we click on File, you need to go to Deploy OVF Template. So here it is. I go to Deploy OVF Template, and I need to search for what exactly I want to deploy. So what I'm going to do is D and Cisco ASA. Here it is. Right now we are deploying ASAv 9412005. I'm just going to open this, click on next, accept the end user agreement. You need to click twice on accept, or you can scroll down and click once on accept. Now, once you click on next, it will ask you for the name. Let's just name it as 1, or you can name it as 9412005. Now, when you click on next, it will ask you for deployment configuration. I'm sorry. There are three types of deployment configurations: ASAv5, ASAv10, and ASAv30. Basically, the major differences between the throughput. If you deploy ASAv5, it's going to be 100 Mbps. If you deploy 1 Gbps, ASAv10, it's going to be 1 Gbps. The throughput is going to be 1 Gbps. If you deploy ASAv30, the throughput is going to be 2 Gbps. Also, if you select this, you would see that ASA V5 and ASA V10 uses one virtual CPU and 2 GB of RAM. And if you select this ASA V30, which has a throughput of 2 Gbps or 2 gigabits per second, it uses 4 virtual CPUs and 8 gigabytes of RAM. If you do not have a license for virtual ASA and you're just deploying it for your personal recreates or probably, just for small recreates, you really do not need to deploy ASA v30 at all. You need to go with ASA v5. Also, since you do not have the license, even if you try to deploy ASA v30, it's going to be, brought down back to ASA v5 automatically without the license. So once you reach on this particular window, automatically you will see 100 Mbps ASAv5. Just click on next. Now there are three more options: thick provision, lazy zero, thick provision, eager zero, and thin provision. Basically, it's just the disk space that it will acquire. Also, there is a lot of difference between the three types of provisioning that you can do. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty. Let's just select thick provision, lazy zero. Though it's going to acquire quite a lot of space in comparison to if I select the option thin provision. But since I have quite a lot of space, you can see over here almost 1 terabyte of space. I'm just going to go with the thick provision lazy zero and click on next. Now you see there are multiple networks that are defined over here. I would like to mention one thing over here. This is You see these source networks. These interfaces that you're seeing over here are the interfaces of the ASAv. But once it's deployed and you go to the settings of the ASAv, which I'm going to show you, there's going to be a catch that you guys need to remember while configuring the network. Because if you do not go by that, you would be facing issues with your connectivity. So I'm going to click next as of now because I haven't created any distinguished networks over here for the connectivity purpose. So I'm just going to click on next. And you see the size on disk for a thick provision lazy zero is 8.3 GB. If I would have selected thin provision, it would have been quite less. So I'm just going to click on finish. And let's just wait for the deployment to finish now. Alright guys, so as you can see over here now, the deployment is complete for 9412005 version of the ASAv. Let's just close this and let's go to the settings first and see what we see over here. Alright, now as you see, one virtual CPU and 2048 MB, that is basically 2 gigabits of memory that it's taking. Apart from that, you see multiple things: CD drive, a CSI controller, all these things. These are not of such a big use when we are talking about the deployment over here. Now, coming to the network adapters, please note that the network adapter one that is being displayed over here is actually the management 0 by 0 interface of the ASA. It's always going to be management 0 by 0 interface of the ASA. Here's network adapter 2. This is going to be gig 0 by 0. Starting from network adapter 2, gig 0 by 0 up till network adapter 10, gig 0 by 9. That is how it's going to work. Please do not think network adapter 1 as gig 0 by 0 of ASAv. Otherwise, if you do that, you will always face connectivity issues. So let's just go and do one more thing over here. Since we need to make a network as well, this is a simple deployment process that you can follow. However, while making a topology, you always need to consider certain facts, and those facts are how exactly you will be giving the connectivity to the ASAv. Before we do that, let's go ahead and deploy ASAv 952.208 as well. I'm just going to deploy this quickly over here. I'm not going to repeat the entire process again since you guys are always aware of how exactly we have to do that. I'm just going to do that quickly. Alright guys, so the ASAv 952.208 is also deployed now. So I'm just going to go to the configuration now to make a simple network. There are multiple options over here. You just need to click on networking. Now, so you see over here, VM network, the interface and management network. This is basically the management network. You see this gray box? This is supposed to be a virtual switch. That's exactly how all of your devices would be connected to the management network. This management network is actually not the management network of the ASAv, it's rather the management network of the ESXi server. So in order to make a simple topology, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this simple thing. I'm going to create some virtual switches over here, and let's name this as outside one. Click on next and finish. Add networking. Click on next, next, inside one. Now, outside one and inside one are referring to ASAv 941.205. That's how I'm going to create a network. I'm going to add two more over here. Outside 2 and one more which is inside 2 for ASA 952.208. Once this is done, I'm going to go to the properties of each and every virtual switch that I've created. Now, once you go to the properties, you need to click on vSwitch, go to the security tab and allow the or accept the promiscuous mode. If you don't do that, it is possible that when you are trying to send pings or any other type of traffic, that's not going to work. So always change the promiscuous mode from reject to accept. Let's just do this. And the final one. All right. Now I'm going to go to ESAv 941.205, click on settings, edit settings, and network adapter 1 is management 0 by 0. I'm not going to touch that. Network adapter 2 is going to be my gig 0 by 0. I'm going to select outside 1 as the interface and gig 0 by 1 as the inside one. Click on OK, power on the device. Go to ASAv 952.208, click on Edit Settings. Again, Network Adapter 2, which is gig 0 by 0 as outside 2, and Network Adapter 3, which is gig 0 by 1 as inside 2. And click on Power on Machine. Sorry. So now, when you see these two are running, basically they would run through a basic setup and both of them would get powered on. I will tell you how to take the console of both the machines. But in order to give communication between the two devices, if you look closely, I'm going to go to the configuration once again. And if you see over here, the 941.205's outside 1 does not have any sort of connectivity to the outside 2 of 952.208. We need to provide connectivity between the two devices. Now, how are we going to do that? Technically, we can use a router over here because we need layer 3 connectivity. These virtual switches are providing only virtual layer 2 connectivity through the ESXi server. This is all logical connectivity that's going through the ESXi server itself. So what I'm going to do is, while we were deploying 952.208, I quickly downloaded the CSR1000v image. I'm just going to deploy that over here quickly. By the way, this image is also available on cisco.com and you can download it from there. I'm just going to name this as internet. Just, or basically we can say it as ISP. I'm just going to, I'm just going logically through the connectivity, so I'm not going very in depth. I'm going to use a medium type of deployment, not a small deployment, because in future we may need more interfaces and some more heavy traffic. Let's click on next, next, and now there is no management interface concept on CSR1000v. You can select gig Ethernet 1 with as outside 1 so that the ISP router or the CSR1000v router that we are deploying has connectivity to the ASAv 941.205. And I'm going to select gig Ethernet 2 as outside 2. Gig Ethernet 2 is having connectivity now with ASAv 952.208. I'm going to click next, finish. Now, let me just open up Paint over here so that I can show you what exactly we have been trying to do. This is our ASAv 941.205. This is our ASAv 952.208. And this is CSR1000v router in between. This is the type of connectivity that we have given between the two devices. If you look closely, this is the outside one of ASA. It's basically just an interface of the ASA in the outside one switch, and this is also outside one switch. So both the interfaces, or let me just name it as gig 1 of router, and I'm going to name this as gig 0 by 0 for the ASA. Now, if you see here, this is our outside 2 switch, and gig 2 of router is in outside 2 as well as gig 0 by 0 of ASAv 952.208 is also in outside 2. So this is a simple topology how exactly you can provide connectivity between the devices. I know most of you guys are aware of G GNS3 and you can easily provide connectivity over there. However, the deployment takes quite a lot of time. If you deploy a simple ASAv over there, it takes quite a lot of memory. Uh, you need to deploy a QCOW2 image over there. Uh, it is totally fine if you want to go through that as well, but when it comes to enterprise level networking, generally testing is not done on GNS3 because it is not considered that much secure. Though virtual devices have equal reliability in all the environments, the reason why we do not consider these two reliable is because ESXi server itself has its own bugs and limitations. So if you are trying to recreate an issue that you might be facing with a physical adaptive security appliance or ASA in your enterprise network on an ASAv, we would not recommend doing that because uh, an issue that is being faced on a physical device should be recreated on the physical device itself with the same version and the same model number of the ASA that you're running in the production environment. If you are limited by the resources, you do not have a lab environment in which you can try to recreate the issue, you can always reach out to Cisco TAC and these guys will be there to help you out with the nitty-gritty of the recreates, and they can probably even without doing the recreate, if there is some buggy behavior in your production environment, they can locate it easily and they can help you out with that. However, coming back to the topology, this is what we were trying to deploy and we have done that. Let's go back to the ESXi server. It will take around 1 minute 10 seconds more to quickly deploy this, and once it's done, we will be proceeding with the configuration of the devices. I'll show you how exactly the pings would be working. Also, if you want, you can deploy two more CSR1000Vs and use them as router machines on the ESXi server just to see how the pings would be working. So I'm just going to deploy two more. I'm just going to name this as PC1, which is internal to ASAv 941.205. I'm going to keep the deployment as small over here, the configuration as small, because we do not need much traffic over here. I'm going to connect it to the inside one interface of the ASA. Basically, this inside one is the switch, and on the same switch, the gig 0 by 1 interface of ASAv 941.205 is connected. And I'm going to click next, finish. Let's close the ISP. Let's power on the ISP. And I'm going to deploy one more behind ASAv 952.208. I'm going to connect this to inside 2 and finish. Now, in the meantime, these two guys are being deployed. Let's go to the ASAv 941.205. Let's go to the console. Let's just minimize these two. And if you see here, this is the console of the ASA. You just need to do a no. I'm going to give host names over there, ASAv 941.205, just so that we recognize this. Save the changes and show IP. Nothing is there. Show int IP brief. I'm just going to give IP addresses, name if, outside 1, IP address 1.1.255.255.0, no shut, exit, and interface gig 0 by 1, name if, inside 1, IP address 192.168.1.0, 255.255.250. I'm just assuming these IP addresses, and what did I do wrong? Oops, my bad. 1. Now I'm going to do a show IP, show int IP brief, and you see both the interfaces are up with the IP assigned IP addresses. I'm just going to save the changes over here. And let's go to ASAv 952 now. All right. Again, no. Let's give the host name as ASAv 952208. Save the changes. Interface gig 0 by 0. Name if outside 2. IP address 2.2.2.1 no shut exit interface gig 0 by 1 name if inside 2 IP address 192.168.2.1 no shut exit show int IP brief. Both the interfaces are up and running with the assigned IPs. You can also run show IP and see this. And let's just save the changes that we have done over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to ISP1 console. And these two guys are still stuck at 6 minutes remaining and 4 minutes and 28 seconds. No problem at all. By the time this is done, we'll see what exactly needs to be done further. Do a no and wait for the ISP or CSR1000v router to come up. It will show you certain outputs. All right. Show IP int brief. 3 interfaces. Gig Ethernet 1 is an outside 1 switch. Gig Ethernet 2 is an outside 2 switch. So I'm just going to go and assign the IP addresses over here. But before that, I'm going to change the host name to ISP just to recognize this better. I'm going to save the changes that we have done. And now interface gig 1 IP address on ASAv 941205 we gave 1.1.1.1. I'm going to give 2 over here and a no shut command. Now interface gig 2 IP address on ASAv 952208 we gave 2.2.2.1. I'm going to give 2.2.2.2, 255, 255, 255, as the subnet mask and a no shut exit. Show IP, do show IP int brief. Now you can see that Gig Ethernet 1 is up, however Gig Ethernet 2 is not yet up. It has changed state to up now. I'm going to run this command once again. The IP address assignment method is manual. The interfaces are okay and the status is up for the interface as well as the line protocol. I hope all of you guys are aware about the line protocol. Moving on, what we are going to do now is I'm going to test the pings to 1.1.1.1 just to see if it's working or not. My bad. You see, we have connectivity. You want to confirm if the reply is coming from the 941205 ASA or not. What you need to do is go to the console of ASAv 9421, debug ICMP trace 255 level, and just run the command ping 1.1.1.2. See, we are receiving response. Alright, so I'm just going to do an all over here and save the changes here as well as save the changes on ISP router. Now I'm going to ping 2.2.2.1 just to check the connectivity over there, and we do receive a response. So the outside connectivity is up and running. However, there is always something that needs to be tend to. We haven't defined any default route on any of the ESAs. So I'm just going to define a default route outside 2.0.0 to 2.2.2.2. Save it. I'm going to do the same thing on ASAv 941.205. Well, not one. Sorry, two. Save the changes. Now I'm going to ping 2.2.2.1. My bad. And I'm receiving a response. So I'm able to ping the ASAv 952.208 from ASAv 941.205. So that part is good. And also I can see that we are almost there with the PC1 and PC2 deployment that we initiated. One is 95% complete and the other one is 83% complete. As soon as these two guys get completed, we would definitely configure the interface on both the devices and try to use them as PCs. And we'll check if we are facing any sort of difficulties when we are trying to communicate between the two devices. Let's just minimize this and going to power on this device. Let's check if we define the correct network. Yes, this is on inside one, and the same thing should be on here. Let's just wait for this to get deployed. Only 5 seconds remaining and done. I'm going to go over here. Before that, let's go here and power it on. Hit settings. And inside 2, that's perfect. So PC2 is connected to the inside 2 of ASAv 952.208 and PC1 is connected to the inside of ASAv 941.205. Let's go to the consoles of both the devices. Let's wait for both the devices to come up. Alright guys, so as you can see now, the PC1 router is up. Let's just go to PC2 and run the same no command over there. Basically, this is just a system configuration dialog. You can do a yes over here and you can try to configure the router based on the questions that the router would ask you. So some of the people may find that easy, but a network administrator would always go with the manual configuration. It does not want the device to do the configuration on his behalf. So let's just change the host name to PC1. Save the changes. Now, interface gig 1 is connected to inside one switch, which is basically connected to ASAv 941.205 inside one interface. And on that interface, we have defined the IP address as 192.168.1.1. I'm going to give the IP address 192.168.1.100 over here. No shut. I'm going to try to ping 192.168.1.1. And we do not. Oops, my bad. Now, since the interface is up, we receive the response for the pings. I'm going to save the changes, exit from here, and write. Let's go to PC2 now. Enable. Let's change the host name to PC2 and save the changes. Interface gig1, IP address 192.168.2.100 since it's connected to the inside to interface of the ASAv 952208. No shut. Let's save the changes and wait for the interface to come up. And the interface is up. If you want, you can see this manual up. Try to ping 192.168.2.1 and we do receive a response. Right. So the topology now would look something like this. PC1, PC2, and both are connected to the inside interfaces of the respective ASAs. So this is a very general deployment, how the topology is made, and rest all the things are based on how exactly you are going to configure your network. I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritty of how exactly you can ping across the network. We can cover that in a later uh, part of the series if you guys need that. So, guys, if you have any queries, you have any doubts, or you would like to know more about something, if you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments below in this video. All the suggestions and feedbacks are always welcome. If you need to know about something else apart from ASAVs or like how to deploy ICE on an ESXi server or FTD, virtual FTD or FMCV, just let me know. Put in your comments in the comment section, and I would be doing a video on all those things based on the availability of time. And if you need any help from my end, just let me know. I would be there to help you out. Also, this is my first video, so I would be expecting feedback from each and every one of you. So until next time, thank you so much for your time and patience on this video. I wish you guys get a good hold of what we tried in this video. All right, guys, so see you later. Bye bye.